Welcome to Gaga Knits. My name's Anita and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Anita Bulb, and show notes can be found in the description box below. Where to start really? So much has happened since my last episode. I can't believe how much the world has changed. I was sitting in my conservatory this morning and the sun was shining in and I was knitting on my socks and the birds were singing. My washing was blowing on the line and it was as if everything was normal when everything is far from normal. It is Mother's Day in Britain today and not many people are spending it with their mums because we are all in isolation or semi-isolation. I'm still working and I work for a firm of accountants. It's a non-essential business, so I don't know if next week we will be told to stay at home. I do hope so because things are escalating every day. I don't watch a lot of television, but lately I am drawn to the news like everyone else, I expect. I don't want to watch it, but I can't stop watching it at the same time. Yesterday it was Jodie and Matthew's second wedding anniversary and they came over to see us with the two boys, and I know everyone is supposed to be keeping to be social distancing. I have to keep looking at my notes. Self-isolation, lockdown, social distancing. I never, until the last few weeks, have even heard of these expressions, let alone say them, and they're now part of everyday conversation. So anyway, yesterday was Jodie and Matthew's second wedding anniversary and they came over with the boys to bring my Mother's Day presents. I had flowers and chocolates and a lovely little ornament that made me cry because of the words on it, and they didn't come to say goodbye because it's not goodbye, is it? But I won't be seeing them again now. Well, we'll Skype. Obviously we're so lucky that we have this technology where we can keep in touch, but I won't be having any more hugs from my grandsons for several weeks, just to try and keep everybody safe. I wasn't going to podcast today, but Jodie and Matthew asked me if I would, so I'm going to try. And I know a lot of podcasters have been putting up videos to cheer everyone up and to boost morale, and I am going to try and do that. And as long as I don't talk about my family, I'm fine. But being apart from them is quite upsetting, so let's get past that. I've said that now, and let's get on with what I've been up to. I have got a finished object. Obviously, here it is, my Flax light. I'll put a picture in because you can't really see it from here, and I just had to redo these sleeves, and I'm much happier with the sleeves. It's a little bit of a high neck, and it's a little bit itchy because I should have been a little bit more. Well, I didn't really think of it at the time. I made the magic ball, my magic yarn ball or magic knot ball, whatever you call them, and this was the first yarn out because it's a top-down sweater and it's a little bit scratchy on my neck, but I haven't washed this yet, so I'm hoping it'll soften with washing and wearing and it won't be so bad. I made the size medium and it's really comfortable and a nice fit. So, and it's quite light, it's all in 4-ply. It feels nice and warm, and I think I'll probably get a lot of wear out of it. It is very stripy. When I was making it, I was a little bit unsure as whether I would wear it because I didn't want to feel like a cow. But it doesn't seem so bad when it's on. and I like it anyway. So that's my finished object in knitting. I have 2 half finished objects, and the first one is my vanilla latte socks, and I don't know if you can see just the little detail. It's just done by you knit 6 stitches and you purl 2 just to get that rib every other row, and I think it's effective. It's nice with the stripe, and it's a rounded toe, and I've not really done that before in the pattern. Sorry, you get a couple of choices of heels and toes. I did the Eye of Partridge heel there, which I think gives a nice texture, and I did the rounded toe, but the actual description is rounded wedge toe. And then you could do a star toe, which I think is a little bit like the toe I did on baby socks, because the last few stitches you pull together and do a little and sort of knock them together. But I think I prefer this one, and I quite like that. So I'm trying to think up my own sorry for sniffing, my own sock recipe, and where I can just knit the map. I mean, lots of people have that, and I think, how can you have your own recipe? But I did like the socks, the party bunting socks that I made, which is a pattern from Pins and Needles, and I also like this pattern. So something between the two, and I think I'll have the perfect sock recipe for me. So I've got to do the other one now. Right, my second half finished object is another pattern from Zoe from Pins and Needles, and it is my Ash Path mitts. Now, I showed these last time, but I had only sort of got halfway up, and I was explaining, because the wool is so dark, that I was finding it a little bit difficult to do in the evenings. And I am doing the medium size, and let me see. Yes, the medium size Cartref yarn in Glow, Pins and Needles pattern, the Ash Path mitts. It's a really nice pattern to follow. I need patterns with lots of direction, lots of help, and so that I don't have to use any common sense at all. And the designer of the pattern has done all the thinking for me, and these definitely fit the bill. And if I am home from next week, I will definitely get the other one finished. I was hoping to get them finished so I could wear them to Wonderwool and show Zoe, because she and Jenny always have a stall at Wonderwool. But unfortunately, that won't be taking place now, along with so many other things. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, does it? As long as everyone can stay healthy. Oh, I'm getting maudlin again. Sorry. So anyway, hopefully I will finish those in the next few weeks, and when I'm out and about walking Charlie, they will keep me nice and warm. And that's my second half finished object. I haven't been working on any of my other knitting patterns. I'm doing quite well with my 12, well, not my 12 cast-ons of Christmas, but my 12 projects of Christmas, so I can sort of join along with Angela from Yarn and Yarns with her 12 cast-ons of Christmas, but in my own little way. I have wound up some yarn to make a cardigan, and I did put that on Instagram. That will probably be the next one I start. I can't remember the name of the pattern off the top of my head, but that will probably come in my next episode. And I have been working a little bit on crochet, or a crochet project, and it's my just my granny stripe blanket. I used all the minis I had left over from the Flax light. I have now put in my granny stripe blanket. So here it is. I mean, it's not really long, but it's quite wide, and I'm slowly getting there. And I've seen other people's on YouTube as well, and I mean, it's very easy. I do 3 triple crochets in each little gap. Obviously, English crocheting terms, I'm not sure. Is it a triple, a double? Because Americans have single crochet and we start off at double, so they're one behind us, I think. But I like this because I know all the different projects that I use the different yarns for. I know those are my Christmas bauble mittens, for example, and that was a yarn I made baby cardigan for my friend's little granddaughter. Yeah, so I look at it and I remember them, and I know these are all my little minis that I won from Yarn Lab UK. So it's a memory in a blanket for me, and I have been working on that quite a lot because it's mindless, although it does make my my hand ache a little bit. My wrist gets aches after a while. I think it's the way that I crochet, because I taught myself, and I'm sure there's probably an easier way, but that's the way I do it. So that's my only crochet project at the moment. I'm looking over here because that's where I've put everything that I'm going to share with you. And my sewing, I have finished a sewing project, and it is the bag that came with this book, Sew by Cath Kidston. It's this bag, and I have tried to video it because I was requested that, and a couple of ladies were going to sew along with me, but at least one of them has already sewn their bag, and she said I inspired her to get on with it, and I hadn't done mine at that time, so she guilt tripped me into finishing mine. So I have made a little video, and well, I haven't edited it yet, but I will put it in here. And I just have to say, if you're a sewer, you will probably cringe at my clumsy handedness in approaching this project, but also if you aren't a sewer and you think you couldn't possibly sew a bag or do anything like that, if I can do it, you definitely can do it. So don't let thinking you can't do something put you off. And here is the finished bag. I did do a few alterations. For example, I didn't do the buttons on here where you're supposed to put buttons. I just did 2 lines of stitches. I don't know if you can see, and you might have seen in the video I had trouble doing the rouleau hoop, or whatever that, the rouleau loop, well, whatever the loop was that you had to do that with fabric, so I just crocheted a little loop, and it all went together quite well. But I have to say, not that I'm an experienced sewer, but I have sewn a few things now, and I have made a couple of project bags, and I also sewed the bag from hell when I was doing the Newfangled Along, well, a project for the Newfangled Along that Zoe from Pins and Needles was holding last year or the year before. So I kind of understand obviously the construction of a bag, but I found the instructions in here were very basic, and they could have done with a few more line drawings, because sometimes some of the instructions, if you didn't already have an understanding of what to do, I think you would have struggled with them a little bit. But anyway, that's done and my video's put in. Whether I'll do any more sewing videos, I don't know. Well, see what you think. I have also started a new craft that I've been enjoying quite a lot, and this is all of, and the fault or the blame for this, is there blame? Should I say blame? No, I was inspired to do this new craft by Davina from Little Workroom Crafts, because she loves her English paper piecing. Now, I keep calling it English pattern piecing, but it's not. It's English paper piecing. And she recently did a tutorial on how to do it, and I watched that, and I also watched a tutorial from Julie from So Unique. She also did a video a few days ago, maybe last week, of how to put these together. So here's mine so far. Now I think this one is meant to be the one at the top. Oh, as you can see, I haven't sewn any of the sides yet, so they keep flopping open. But I've got that so far, and you can see my little stitches. I tried to be really, really neat, but I think you can see tiny little stitches. I don't know if you can see them, but I don't mind that, because it's hand stitched, handmade, so when it's all put together, you'll see all those little tiny stitches and think of all the hours that I've spent doing this project. But I have really needed something like this week that I could just concentrate on, and it's not, you don't have to concentrate too hard, but it's just enough to take your mind off other things. And the items you need to make, well, you don't really need to buy a template. I've bought this template, which is the 3-inch. Is that better if you see it on there? Which is quite large. For some reason, people who know me know that I always have a problem if I buy things online. Yes, I bought something online because I can never tell the size, and I know it says on there, but I wasn't expecting them to be quite this large. But I think actually I don't mind, because while I'm learning, I think I will buy some more of these smaller ones as well, because it is very addictive. So I got the template from Lina Patchwork .com. There it is. And I have to say it came really quickly, and I also got the thread from her, which I have lost. Where's that thread? Ah, there it is. I bought the light grey, and it's Aurifil, I think 50, the thickness is 50, because that's what Davina recommended. And I also got the papers. Now I know you can cut these out yourself, but I wasn't feeling it. I just wanted to do this project, and I wanted all the things there ready to start on it, so I bought those as well. And she also, the lovely lady at Lina Patchwork, sent me some little free triangle papers, which I'm guessing you can use to finish the little hexies off with. So I might do that, or I might just do lots and lots of hexies together. And the fabric that I'm using, because I'm just practicing, was most of these were from a fat quarter from Aldi's that my dad and stepmum gave me. They are now in self-isolation and they are doing well, and fortunately they live in or very near beautiful countryside, so they can get out and go on walks and things like that. And my dad put some pictures up on Instagram, so that's quite comforting to know that they're doing okay and staying safe. As you can tell, like everyone, whatever you're doing, this coronavirus is always in the back of your mind. So that's my new craft, and finally I have some fabrics that were gifted to me by Terry, who is the next door neighbour of my daughter Jodie. So hi Terry, I think she does watch, and she very kindly gave me some fabrics. Her mum apparently is a very keen sewer, and she gave Terry some fabrics and Terry passed them on to me. Now I'm not sure what they are. This is a very lightweight, very see-through fabric, but I was thinking how nice would that look as a pussy bow blouse. And I could either, well, I wouldn't line it, I think I'd wear a little sort of cami underneath. I thought I did have a pattern for a pussy bow blouse, but I don't seem to, so I might have to get one of those. But I thought that would look lovely as a blouse. So I have loads of it. I would say there's 3 meters of each of these fabrics. And then she also gave me this. I have no idea what these fabrics are. I couldn't even guess. I just don't know enough about fabrics. But this is, let's get the one end. I did fold them. There's so much of them. I can't find the end. Ah, here it is. So, let's bring it in front. There we are. I've got this fabric here, and this is also very drapey, and I thought I have 2 patterns already in my little pattern library. There's this one, or this one, and I think either one, because I think that one looks quite stable, but then this one over here looks quite drapey, so I think either of those fabrics would work. I'm thinking this blue one more so, because I want to make the pussy bow blouse with the one with the shoes. And oh, right, I'm going to have to take that off my lap. There's loads of it. And then I also had this fabric from her, which is a jersey. Oh, does it say anything? Oh, it's got symbols on it. There, I think. I don't know what that means, but anyway, this is the jersey fabric. That's quite nice, and I'm thinking I might like to make a maxi dress with that, because I was on about making a maxi dress before, and I have tons of this as well, and I thought that would be nice. It's stretchy, but it's quite still quite nice and light, so I think it would be nice in the summer. And the very last fabric weighs a ton, and here it is, and this is a jersey as well, but more I think for the winter. And I have no idea what I'm going to make with that one yet. There it is. It's quite loud, so I'm not sure yet, but I'm sure I'll think of something. So thank you so much for thinking of me, Terry, and I will put all the fabrics to good use, I promise. Right, so that's everything I've got this time, and I thought, oh, sorry, see, it is slightly itchy around the neck, and I'm not used to a neck quite this high. I thought, as everyone, well, not everyone, but since we are slightly more stuck in the house and not meant to be going out, I would put a few pictures at the end of each of my episodes now for the next few weeks or months. Some photos that my son Josh has taken. Now, if you've watched before, you may have heard me mention Josh and the fact that he likes mountain biking. And he takes some fabulous photos when he's out mountain biking, and he has promised to send me some so I can put them on the end of here to show you a little bit of the Welsh countryside that even if you were out and about you might not see because you're not on a mountain bike. So take care, be careful and stay safe, and I shall see you all soon. Bye.